Welcome back. I hope you are doing great. As a part of this lecture, we'll try to understand Python loops. In the previous lectures, we understood about Python control structures. As a part of a Python control structures, we have sequential, selection, and repetition. We already have gone through if-else statements as a part of the selection. As a part of this lecture, we'll understand repetition control structures in detail. As we already understand, repetition is used for looping. Whenever we have a requirement to repeat a piece of code multiple times, that is when we'll use the repetition. In repetition, we have loops. Within that loops, we have first one being the for loop. What is for loop doing? For loop is mainly used for executing the statements or a sequence. When I say sequence, if you remember a list, we have already discussed about a list, right? In list, there'll be items 1, 2, 3, 4, or it may be A, B, C, D. If I want to iterate through all the elements of the list, that is when for loop comes into picture. Let us take an example. Here, if you see, fruits is the list, and we have elements like apple, banana, and cherry. If you want to print all of them, then we can use the for loop and provide a variable called x, provide the name of the list, and go on saying print. This will print apple, banana, and cherry. Let us try to understand this in bit more detail. Oh, why can't we print all of them one by one? Let us say one way of printing them is print apple, banana, and print cherry. We can do this way also, right? Why do we really need to use for loop here? We have only 3 elements as a part of fruits. That is a list. What if you have 100 elements as a part of the list? Will you go on typing print, print, print for 100 times? It doesn't make any sense, right? That is when we use the for loops. We can iterate through all the elements of the list and do something. In this case, we are saying print. What may be the real life examples? Let us say you are working in some digital marketing company. If you have to send the same email to some 1,000 participants, in that case, you have a list of customers' email ID. Email ID 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can go ahead and use the for loop as a part of your code. That is one of the real life example. Sometimes it so happens that you want to go through a list, yet when you find something, then you want to stop. That is when break statement come into picture. Break statement, what it does, it breaks the loop before it has looped through all the items. Why do we really need that? In this case, we are taking an example of apple, banana, cherry being elements of the fruits list. When you find the banana, break it. What may be the real life example here? Real life example is, let us say you are browsing through a list of books in a library. It may be a digital library. Library literally has some 10,000 books. Now you are looking for your favorite book. Favorite may be anything. It may be fiction, non-fiction, any favorite book you are searching for. What happens is your favorite book may be 100th or 1000th or even 9,000. It may be there as a part of the list as a 100th item or 1000th item or 9000th item. But the requirement is you got to find the book. The moment you find the book, rest of the books doesn't matter to you at this point of time. That is when we use a combination of a for and break. In this case, assuming that it is a list of books, and in this case, it is your favorite book. The moment it finds your favorite book, it breaks. Sometimes there may be a situation you want to iterate through the different elements in a list or a range in this case, and the moment that is done you want to know whether the task is done or not. That is when we can use for and else in combination. So it will go through all the elements and print. The moment it is done, it will get into the else and it will say, hey, it is finally finished. That is how you use else with the for loop. Sometimes in real life situations, you may want to iterate through different lists. The condition would be there is a loop at a high level. For example, here we have a adjective as red, big, tasty, and we have fruits as one of the list. I want to iterate through both the lists. In that case, we can have a nested loop. As we have already seen nested ifs, in the same way, we are nesting this loop within this loop. Wonderful. We understood how for loops work. This is the while loop now. How does while loop differ from for loop? Loop is a loop, right? Why do we need for loop? Why do we need while loop? Very simple. If you remember, we just discussed for loops are for iterating sequence of statements or sequence. On the other hand, while loops are for conditions. Whenever you want to use while loop, there should be a condition around that. Whenever there is a condition, you want to iterate through some of the elements, that is when you got to use the while loop. So while loop, we can execute the statements as long as the condition is true. In this case, while I is less than 6, print I. So this is the condition here. Until this condition is true, this gets executed. Here, print I. And one more very important aspect in while loop is whenever you are iterating through different elements or a range of a particular list or something, you got to initiate the counter. This is a counter. Here in this case, counter is initiated to 1. When it comes to this, while I is less than 6, yes, 1 is less than 6, this gets printed. Then we are incrementing the counter. Then the value of I would be 2. Is 2 is less than 6? Yes. Print. Then it will become 3. Then it will become 5. Until 5, this gets iterated. The moment it becomes 6, what happens is 6 is not less than 6, right? 6 is equal to 6. That is when it comes out of the loop. That is how while loops work. As we already understood, there is a need to break the for loop. In the same way, there is also a need to break the while loop as well. There are conditions when you are searching for something as a part of the list. The moment you find something, you got to break that. That is when we use the break statement. Here, this is a condition. In case of for loop, we had a sequence or a list. And in case of for loop also, we had a condition to break. Here also we have a condition to break this. The moment this condition is true, break this. Awesome, isn't it? Now, there are instances where you have a loop where you want to stop the current iteration and then you got to continue the next. That is when you got to use the continue statement as a part of the loop. As we have used the else statement with for loop, in the same way, we can use the else statement with while loop as well. We can run a block of code once the condition is no longer true. Here in this case, what we are doing is while I is less than 6, then the moment this comes out of this loop, we can say this condition is no longer true. That is the reason it came out of the loop. Wonderful. We understood at a high level how does the for loop work, how does the while loop works. We'll see both of them as a part of our practicals.